Hello guys, welcome back. Today I'm going to be doing a review of the BBC miniseries War and Peace, so let's get right into it. So War and Peace is based on the tome of a novel by Leo Tolstoy, and this drama came out in 2016. The drama has 6 episodes and they run for about 45 minutes each. We follow the main character and his story. His name is Pierre, and we follow him through marriage and romance and sort of like a fall from grace. He's seen as a very dowdy sort of character. He kind of reminds me of Dobbin from Vanity Fair by William Thackeray. And then we also follow the story of Natasha, who's played by Lily James, and she will eventually marry Pierre in the show. Pierre's played by Paul Dano. You might know him from Batman. And then we also follow the story of Andre, who is best friends with Pierre. In the miniseries and also in the novel, he does actually die. His character is very complex. He's the complete opposite of Pierre. He's very level-headed, but he's also very intense. He feels very intense feelings. He has a wife that he doesn't really treat particularly well, but he kind of adores her in his own way. And his wife dies in childbirth and she gives birth to a son, and he ends up treating that son with a lot of disdain because he feels like his son is the reason why his wife died, which is something I always hate when I watch historical dramas, because it's like, we all know what sex leads to, and now you're upset that your wife died. And I understand that, but blaming it on the child is really unfair, in my personal opinion. And his character also falls in love with Natasha at a certain point in time, but then events unfold and she does something that basically he feels like is like the ultimate betrayal, and they separate, and she then ends up with Pierre. And you might think, oh, Pierre was like her second option, but to be honest, he's the kind of guy that she never really knew would actually be perfect for her. And so they then come to an understanding that like they had to go like the long route in order to connect back to each other and get back together again. Next person we follow is Nikolai. He's the brother of Natasha, and we follow him and his own romance and his journey with his fiancée, who is a relative but a poorer relative, and they're very much in love as well. And it's all set in the backdrop of Napoleon wanting to invade Austria and Russia, and it's called War and Peace for a reason. So most of the show, like the first 5 episodes, the backdrop is pretty much war, and in the last episode, peace then occurs after people have died and people have lost things and had divorces and things like that. And I personally really enjoyed the story because I always really enjoy like family-based dramas, and this is a drama that focuses on different families and how they connect to each other, these wealthy families that have dinners and balls and such things. And even politically, it's kind of interesting, like seeing how they all view Napoleon through time, how Pierre's character in the beginning is very like in awe of Napoleon, and by the end he's just kind of disappointed in Napoleon. And also by the end, like Russia is finally at peace and everybody is finally where they need to be with who they need to be with, and it does end quite beautifully. I think it's a really good, I literally have not read like the full novel. Like I have the novel in my hands, but it's, as I said, it's a tome. I've read a few chapters, and from what people have been saying online, like Reddit and sites like that, people for the most part think this is quite a good adaptation of the novel. There is a 1967 Russian adaptation which is said to be truer to the original novel, but this one is also quite good. And as somebody who hasn't read the full book, I felt like the characters had a lot of flesh and were very 3D, and so I definitely really enjoyed watching this mini-series, and I would highly recommend it. If you want to watch it, you can watch it on Amazon Prime Video, YouTube with subscription, BritBox, I believe some BritBox too, or even Apple TV. if you have access to that, it's definitely worth checking out. Let me know what you think about this in the comments below. If you like my channel, please subscribe. If you like this video, please hit the like button below. Thanks so much for listening. Bye.